Can someone confirm if you are able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's quickly recap what we saw in previous session. So first we saw what is SAP and what are the different modules we are using in SAP and what are the different functionalities of each modules. And we have seen what is the P2P process. So how the P2P process works. Arafat, let me explain the P2P process to you. We have not discussed yet for you. So
Okay.
what is this P2P process is? Procure to pay process. So how this procure to pay process works is first we need to create a purchase requisition. So let's take an example. If you are working in a company, there will be different departments like HR, purchasing department, finance department, production department, planning department. So let's assume you are working in a production department and you require a laptop. So what in SAP we will be doing is we will be raising a purchase requisition. So if you require any material or any product in SAP, the first thing is we need to raise a purchase requisition. So purchase requisition is nothing but an internal document to procure a material. So let's assume you required a laptop. So of one quantity. And the place is nothing but where you require this laptop. So in Amazon, if you want anything, you will be giving how much quantity and what is the delivery location. So in the similar way, in SAP also, while creating the purchase requisition, we will be giving how much quantity we require, where we require, and when we require. So that is the delivery date. So yeah, let's assume you are just creating this purchase requisition, and what will happen is it will be sent to the purchasing department. So in every company, there will be a purchasing department. So they will be doing this RFQ process. So RFQ is nothing but request for quotation. So where you will be selecting the best vendor. So let's assume you require a laptop. So what this purchasing team will do is they will search for the best vendor in the market. So they will what they will be doing is they will be creating one quotation, that is I required 10 quantities of laptop in Coimbatore on 18th July. And they will be sending to different laptop vendors like Apple, Lenovo, HP. So what the Apple company is telling is like they are giving for 50K. So let's assume for one Apple laptop, they are giving for 50K and the payment terms is 25 days. So what is payment terms is, so how many days after you can do the payment. So normally in a company, when you procure a material, so based on your communication and the vendor's communication or based on your agreement between the vendors, so they will be giving the payment terms. That is if you whether you want to pay immediately or you can pay after 25 days. So so Apple is giving like the payment can be done after 25 days. So similarly, Lenovo company is giving for 40K and 30 days is their payment terms. And HP is for 42K and 50 days is the payment terms. So in SAP, what it will be seeing is it will be picking the who is giving at the best price. So the Lenovo is giving the best price like 40K. He is giving one quantity of laptop. So what you will be doing is then you will be raising the purchase order or PO. So what is a purchase order is? Purchase order is a legal document to procure the material. That is, you are giving the confirmation like I am going to buy from you. So what the purchasing team will do is they will create a purchase order and send it to Lenovo company. Like I required 10 quantities of laptop and the price is 40K you have said and the payment terms is 30 days. So and you will be sending the purchase order to Lenovo. And once they do the manufacturing and send to our premises or our company, we will be doing the goods receipt. That is, you are giving an acknowledgement like I have received the goods of 10 quantities. So that is the goods receipt. And you will be storing in your inventory. What is inventory is the place where you will be storing the material. So once the goods receipt is done, then you will be creating the invoice. So normally when you purchase from Amazon, you will be getting an invoice, right? Like you need to pay this much amount. Similar way, the vendor will be sending the invoice. Like for 10 quantities of laptop, this is the price. 40K for one laptop. So 10 quantities is 4 lakhs. So you need to do, you need to give the 4 lakhs rupees to the vendor. And based on the invoice which vendor has sent in SAP system, you will be creating the invoice. Like we need to pay for this vendor of 4 lakhs rupees. And what the FI team will be doing is they will be sending the amount from the bank account. So that is called accounts payable. So this is the P2P process which we saw. Arafat, if you have any questions or anyone has any questions, you can just ask. And from PR to PO is procurement area. That is, you are doing the purchasing activity here. PR to PO is the procurement area. And GR to invoice. GR and invoice is inventory management. So inventory management is all the stock related activities. So how we are storing the material and giving the payment to the vendors. So those activities are called inventory management.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Bro, you told like in purchase requisition, we'll be giving the requirements like what is the thing we have to procure and the delivery date, those things.
Yes.
So in the very beginning itself, we don't give the amount. Only in RFQ, those amounts
Yeah,
will be
in
decided, right?
RFQ only the amount will be decided. Because here you will not be knowing the amount because you are not selecting any vendor.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, if there are no questions, we can move forward. And we saw what is a master data. So we have listed down different types of master data, like material master, vendor master, info record, source list, contract, quota arrangement, and service master. So in ECC, we will be calling it as master data. So in interview, they will ask what is the difference in the master data between ECC and S4HANA. So in ECC, we will be calling it as a vendor master. In S4HANA, it has been modified to business partner. So why business partner is required, I will let you know in further slides. So these are the some of the master data. So before we get into detail into master data, we will see what is the exact difference between ECC and S4HANA. So difference between ECC and S4HANA. So first, initially when SAP was launched is in 1972. So these are not important, but you should know the history. So SAP was first launched in 1972. Normally, in who are already working in SAP, they will not call it as a SAP because in German language, SAP is referred to pig, pig or something, some animal it refers to. So normally, in, who are all working in SAP, they will call it as SAP only, not SAP. So initially, SAP was first launched in 1972 by 5 entrepreneurs. Who are worked in IBM. So these are IBM employees. So you might be knowing IBM. So it is an IT company. It's an MNC company. So the 5 entrepreneurs or 5 employees who are working in IBM, so they build the initial SAP software. So what is the initial version of SAP? What is the initial version of SAP? I told you. So here itself it is done. What the initial
ECC, right?
ECC, yeah. So ECC was initially built by these 5 entrepreneurs. So initially they built ECC R3. So I would have explained what is R3. So what is R3? I told you R3 is application layer, presentation layer,
Presentation database.
DB layer,
Database.
database layer. So this was initially built by SAP, that is ECC R3. What was the pack or the version of SAP is 6.0. So this was the first which was launched by SAP 6.0. Then there are some enhancement packs, some minor changes like adding some more extra fields or the logo change. How in our Android version we are getting updates, right? The similar way ECC initially they launched the 6.0 and after that there were so many enhancement packs like 7.4, 7.12, like that 7.4, and it was 7.7. So the last enhancement pack is 8. So this was the last enhancement pack in ECC in 2014. So after that, what they decided is they have launched S4 HANA in 2015. So in 2015, they launched S4 HANA. So what is a major difference I told you? In S4 HANA and ECC, what is a major difference? No, what is a major difference? Like in ECC, they were using.
S4 HANA, it has its own database.
Yeah, correct. So S4 HANA has its own database, like HANA database. So this was one of the biggest difference, like between ECC and S4 HANA. And we have one more thing, like one more thing also I told you. One is POR apps. So we will be having different apps for different transactions, like to create PR, RFQ, PO, GR, invoice, and different master data also. All business process now can be used using Fiori apps. And so in system, let me show you in the system how to find out whether the system is S4 HANA or not. Once you get the system, okay, let me show you from the first. So how to launch to the system? So once you get the access, first we need to go to a remote desktop connection. And if you click on this one, it will take you through, or it will prompt to enter the server ID. So you will be given with the server ID. So you can enter this server ID and it will ask yes or no. So here you need to give yes. It will connect to the remote session. And it will take you through the remote session. So here, this is the SAP logon pad. If you double click on this one, so here you can see 770 was the final release, but we have enhancement pack of 8. Here you can see like this is S4 HANA system. You can double click on this one. So everyone will be getting their user ID and password. It's not going on. Why it is not doing? So normally, how to check is you need to go to system. So I will let you know what is this box, what are these favorites, everything I will let you know. So initially to find out whether it is an SAP S4HANA or not, how to see is you need to go to system and you need to go to status. And here you can see like there will be a product version. With this filter. Why it is not going on? So here you can see like the server name, like it would be like in S4HANA and what is the version is 2022. So in this way, you can find out whether it is an S4HANA system or not. And here you can see database. This is HDB. This is HANA database. Here you can see like SAP HANA database. So in similar way, you can find out whether it is an SAP system or not. And in product version, you click on details. Here you can see like there will be different releases. In S4HANA also, so how they will be calling it as a release code. So the how in Android we have a different versions, right? Similar way in SAP also we will be having different release codes. So here you can see it is 2022. It is 2022 version. So how first what they build is how to hide this new. So normally it will go to the top right. Not going. No. So in SAP, we have different release codes. So these are not important, but you can just understand. So initially, so how they built is initially they built 100 release code, that is 1511. So 1511 version, that is nothing but 15 is the year and 11 is the month. So in 2015, 11th month, initially they launched SAP. And the next version was on 1610, that is 101 release code. And the year is 1610. That is in 2016, 10th month, they have launched the next version, next release. And after that, we were having 102, that is 1709. That is in 2017, 9th month, they have released the another version. And we have 103, that is 1809. Which was launched on 2018 and 9th month. Similarly, we are having 104, that is 1909. So in 2019, 9th month, they have updated, they have released enhancement packs. They have released a further enhancement pack on 104 and in the year of 2019, 9th month. And currently, after 2019, the nomenclature has been changed only 2 years. That is, here they have defined like 2016 and 10th month rate. So after 2019, the nomenclature, that is the defining of this year and month has been changed to only 2 years. So it was 2020. Here you can see, right, the product version is 2022. So this was the release. If you get a chance to work when you're working in a company, if they are using 2018 or 19 S4 HANA system means, here you can see the release code will be what was that for 2019, it would be 104. So here you can see 104. So after 19, it has been changed to year only. So the nomenclature has been changed only to the year. So here you can see this 2022 version. Currently, we are using 2022 version. And they have released to 2021. Currently, they have released the updated version 2022, the year of 2022. Any questions on this release code or when it was launched? Any doubt on this one?
Yeah. For other modules like right, like FIC or PP, they use the same software or different software for different modules?
No, everybody will be using SAP only. In that, in we have this functionalities. We will be working on that particular functionality, and for that
But same
configuration will be
software for everyone. But same software.
same
for
software only. All modules will be used.
The release code is nothing but version, right?
Yes, this version only.
Versions, okay.
And this is when they launched, the year and the month. From 2020, they obsoleted this release code and the year, and it has been changed only to year.
Okay.
Okay, now you may be coming up with a question like, so already there will be customers who are using ECC. So when S4 HANA introduced HANA database, so customers came up with like, can we use HANA database? HANA database in ECC. So let's assume like any company you can take like Reliance or any other company. So they are using ECC. They have not shifted to S4 HANA. But SAP has given or invented HANA database in the year of 2015. So after that, the ECC customers also willing to use HANA database alone. So this database alone they can use or not, they were raising a question to SAP. So what SAP has given is, yes, ECC customers also can also started using, so customers started to use HANA database. So if they are willing, if the ECC customers also willing to use HANA database, yes, SAP has given the privilege to use HANA database without changing to S4 HANA. So in interview, they might ask, these questions will not come, but if they ask, you can tell like, yes, HANA database can be used in ECC, but the cost will be more when compared to Oracle or something. Some other ERP software.
Pranav?
Yes, okay.
So now, what is the difference between a ECC database and a HANA database? What is the spec that has HANA database?
Yes, I will tell you now. So next time. So why HANA database? So how HANA database is faster? So normally, whatever database you are using, it will be an in-memory database. So how the ECC worked is, when you are using a different database, how it will be worked is, so we will be calling a terminology like a drum-based database. That is, so how normally when you are storing a data in your mobile or or in your laptop or something, how it works is normally it will be worked like RAM and ROM. So everybody will be knowing like what is RAM and ROM. So what is RAM? RAM is nothing but random access memory, and ROM is nothing but what is ROM? Read only memory.
Read only.
Hmm. So what the RAM will be doing is it is a processor. So in normal, in standard, how it is working is it is a processor. So what is ROM is it is a storage. So normally how this RAM and ROM functionality works is, so RAM, which is a volatile memory that temporarily stores the file you are working on. What ROM is a non-volatile memory that permanently stores the instructions for your computer. So for example, if you are okay, let's take this example. Like if you are booking a ticket, so if you are booking a ticket in any website, so what will happen? Like normally, what will happen is when you enter the details or when you want to book any ticket, so what will do is RAM will go and fetch the details from the ROM, and again it will be sent to RAM, and RAM will show us the data. So that was the flow which will be working. So in normally in SAP system, so there will be huge number of data. So every time it works in this similar fashion, so there is a performance issue. That is, the system might be the system will be lagged, or the data will not be shown quickly. So there were so many issues. Users were facing so many issues while working on day-to-day activities. So what SAP did is, so they invented like an in-memory database. So in-memory DB, in-memory database where, so everything will be stored in RAM itself. So RAM will be functioning, RAM will function both the functionalities like, so normally RAM and ROM will work, right? In S4HANA, in S4HANA database, so RAM itself will performs both the functions of processor and storage. So that's the reason like the performance was high and the users were happy. They can quickly take the report, or they can quickly do the transactions when there is a huge number of data. And one more thing is like normally the data will be stored in column wise. So in SAP certification, they will be asking this questions. So in earlier, it was stored in row wise. So you know row and column, right? So this is row and this is column. So earlier, how this storage was happening is it was stored in row wise. So it was stored in row wise in a horizontal position. So what SAP has did is they changed it to column wise, like in vertical position. So it was it was best for the RAM to process quickly the data and fetch the data from the database, and it can showcased in the screen. So that was another uh, thing which was invented in S4HANA database. So these are not much important, but I'm just giving you the glimpse or glance about how this database are working, and when this SAP has invented and what are the release codes. So you can remember like in S4HANA, the data will be stored in column wise. So in interview, they will not ask these questions, but if you want to do the SAP certification, this question will be there. Any questions till now? Or we can go to master data.
You can go, Bram.
Okay, there are no questions. We will move to master data. So in the previous class, we discussed these are the different master data. So normally, what is a master data? So master data is nothing but it will hold the information about the material. So if it is material master means it will hold the all the information about the material. So normally, uh, as a human being, we also have the master data. So what is our master data? Like which will hold all the details like your father name, mother name, your age, so everything. So that will not be changed frequently. So name you can change, but you will not change that frequently. That is the master data. So okay, now what is our master data? As I said, a master data will hold all the information about a person or about a material or about anything in
Bio.
the world. Bio. What are the other master data of a human being where you can see all your information?
Aadhaar, like that.
Aadhaar card, correct? Yeah, Aadhaar. So Aadhaar is our master data, like where you can see your name, your father's name, your address. So everything will be there and it will not be changed frequently. In the similar fashion, all the materials will be having their unique master data. That is, it will be containing the information like what is a material name, what is the size of the material, weight, color. So, and so many details are there. So there is a separate session for what. For each master data, we should have a separate session. So it will take around 1 hour I believe, to discuss about master data. So material master will contain what is the material name and what are all the details like size, color, weight, and where you are storing it. So everything, all the material details will be stored in the material master. Similarly, in vendor master, all the vendor related details will be stored in the vendor master. Like what is a vendor name, and what is the address, and what is a bank account to which you are going to pay to the vendor. So everything needs to be stored in the system, right? Then only you can use it. So without master data, you cannot do any transaction. So in SAP, this PR, RFQ, PO, GR invoice, these are transaction data. So these are called, all these are transaction data. That is, you are using on day-to-day basis to do the transactions. So this is transaction data and this is master data, which will not be changed frequently. So master data are the things which will not be changed frequently. And without master data, we will not be able to perform the transaction data because here you need to enter the material. And in purchase order, you need to enter the vendor. So these master data are like the brain, or it is the very important criteria to perform the transaction data. So now you understand what is material master and what is vendor master. So like all the details related to the material will be stored in the material master and all the related details of the vendor will be stored in the vendor master. Vendor name, address, bank account, phone number. So everything will be stored in the vendor master. Similarly, we have info record. So what is the use of this info record? So info record, we will be